2021 is here to stay, and there's a laundry list of video games that sound like they could be pretty freaking cool. Today we're going to talk about the games we're most looking forward to, and if there are any games that can push us over the edge to buy one of the next-gen consoles. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Peanut Butter Hazelnut Caramel Chocolate Cake Stout by Hoppin Frog. This sounds delicious.
Oh my lord. You know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss one of our bi-weekly uploads. And sit back, relax, pour yourself an adult beverage if you care to, and let's talk about some awesome video games that are supposed to come out in 2021.
This is Pixel Game Squad. You're watching Gaming Off the Grid, possibly the greatest channel on earth.
Yeah,
well,
greatest.
Besides GameSack, Game Chasers, Retro Liberty, Chase Up
Yeah,
at the Right Price,
both.
Russ Lyman.
2020 is behind us. It is time for 2021, and there's a bunch of video games on the horizon, no pun intended, that have us kind of excited. Now, this is not a list of for sure buys for us, but ones that we're going to be watching, have our finger on the pulse of, because some of these are on consoles we don't even own yet.
Yes, let's start with a game that you're wearing. What? Axiom Verge 2. Okay, so Axiom Verge, I think, is one of our favorite indie games.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the second one, but also a little nervous for the second one.
Yeah, the part that has me a little nervous is, I guess we have no reason to question the developers of that game
at all.
Thomas Happ killed it with the first release. The soundtrack was amazing. The game, it just stands for itself. I think it's the best indie game we've ever played. But this second one, for one, there's not a definitive release date. So It's just saying 2021. And then the game is in an entirely different universe, different characters. So it's not like a sequel or I guess I don't know where it falls in the timeline, but it is a completely different world that we're thrust into in Axiom Verge 2.
I'm really excited because the first one, it just was incredible all the way around, man. You already mentioned the music, the gameplay, everything about it. So Axiom Verge 2 is going to get me really excited when it comes out.
Now it's time for a little bit of that spaceship shooter action. R-Type Final 2.
Yes.
It's looking like spring of 2021. This is a game I never would have thought was going to come to fruition because the last game was called R-Type Final, and it was supposed to be the last R-Type game, but here we are, R-Type Final 2. I believe thus far it's only been announced for PS4.
Yes,
at least that's what the trailer's
I think it's a
on.
PlayStation exclusive, at least for right now. I mean, R-Type Final was on the PS2, and from the trailer, it looks like this potentially could be a 4-player shmup,
Yeah, so
which is badass.
There's that 4-player split screen shot. We don't know. Is that split screen, or are they just showing you four
Different.
separate images?
Yeah, I don't know, but if it's 4-player split screen, holy fuck.
That would be out of control. But we're really excited for R-Type Final 2. These two games that we just mentioned are probably at the top of the heap for us of ones that we really want to get our hands on, and we're hoping there are no delays.
Speaking of a game that I'm really excited for, but I don't know if it's ever going to come out.
Radio silence.
House of the Dead 1 and 2 remake. They've been talking about this for a year and a half. Like,
Yeah.
So there's no official date, so it's kind of a stretch to put it on this list. But they said 2020, it didn't come out in 2020,
Yeah.
so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it comes out early 2021, because that's going to be badass.
There's been no word since April. It was confirmed for Steam and rumored for Switch at that time, and we're still waiting. We really want to get our hands on the remake. Speaking of remakes, or resurrections, if you will, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection on the Nintendo Switch. This has got me hyped. Now,
Yes.
there was quite a bit of backlash, oddly enough, from people who are like not liking the look of it or the graphics. What do you people want? Okay, it's a Capcom remake or resurrection of Ghosts and Goblins. Just get excited.
And Capcom has been killing it lately, dude. So if it was a Konami game, yeah, I'd be a little hesitant. But Capcom's on fire. They've been on fire for like the past 2 years. I mean, they've been on fire since they've started releasing video games. But this looks amazing.
It does. I love the look. I love the callback to the retro. I don't know what... I mean, did you guys want another Maximo game?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there are a lot of people that are excited about it, but there are definitely some folks that I've heard the ripplings of, like, oh, it looks stupid or whatever, and I think it looks badass, and graphics don't make a game.
No, it doesn't.
If the gameplay plays right...
I hope they keep it hard.
Yeah,
I hope they
yeah.
don't make it easy. Because if they make it easy, then I'm like, is this really in the universe? But I have high hopes for Capcom.
Yeah, and I love in the trailer, it looks like you've got more directions to attack.
Sweet. That's
like
awesome.
you can. It was showing like jumping up and throwing straight down, which is
that's
a
gonna be a
huge
lot
benefit.
easier,
Like that could be a game changer. Like if you've played those games, you know that could change everything. So super excited for this one. A game that I'm excited about because neither one of us have taken the jump towards the Series X or the PS5, and I don't really think, other than us being kind of Sony fanboys, we haven't really made our minds up of which way we're going to go. Neither one of the consoles has swayed our decision yet.
Yep.
Halo Infinite.
Oh, yes. So
Could this be the game?
This could be the game that makes us buy the new Xbox. Because, dude, Halo's badass. And especially if it's local co-op, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
This game could be the game of the year. Like, Halo is incredible, man, and I'm excited for this.
I got to do some digging. I'm going to have to find out when this gets ready to come out if it has local 4-player split screen, because we've got a friend that already has the Xbox Series X, and if we could do some sort of linkage...
LAN party?
Which I don't know if they're going to offer that. I don't even know if those hookups are on the console, so I'm just spitballing because I don't have one. But I'm interested. I'm just kind of waiting for that game to make me buy one of the new consoles, but it's just not there yet. Back for Blood, or as Robert likes to call it,
Left 4 Dead 3. So it's
Hyped.
not technically Left 4 Dead 3 because it's not released by Valve. But the developers of Left 4 Dead are making this game, not with Valve. Back for Blood. 4-player zombie co-op. Dude, this game looks amazing.
I don't want to get too hyped, but I will say I'm freaking hyped.
Yeah, and I love how like realistic it looks.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. This is another one. It's going to be released, I believe, on the current gen and next gen hardware. But I'm guessing the trailer that we've seen is on the next gen consoles. It looks freaking amazing. I hope there's local co-op.
Yes.
That's going to be really important.
If it's just online, or that's going to.
I was always kind of annoyed. The Left 4 Dead games, correct me if I'm wrong, but were only 2-player.
Yeah, even though you have a 4-player team.
So you had to do like LAN parties to
it
play,
was kind of annoying.
or play online. But anyways, it would be sweet if they did 4-player split screen. Nobody cares about people like us wanting that. But Back for Blood, definitely on our radar, because the Left 4 Dead games 1 and 2 are two of our favorite co-op zombie.
Oh, dude, they're so much fun, and resource management is so important. Now, this game I'm very intrigued about because I love Batman, and this is a Batman game, but Batman's in this game is dead. That's Gotham Knights. So this looks very interesting because it's co-op.
Yeah, which
supposedly.
Anytime we hear co-op, it's like, woo?
But it's weird that you can't play as Batman, but you play as everyone else in the Batman universe, like Batgirl,
Nightwing,
all this stuff. It looks really cool. It doesn't take place in the Arkham universe. It's a different universe.
Yeah.
So I wonder how it's going to play and stuff. But I'm very intrigued by this.
Yeah, it's one that I don't know which way they're going to go. Are they going to try kind of keeping it similar to the Arkham series from how it plays? Or is this going to be more of like a beat-em-up-esque game, kind of like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance type
That'd be
stuff?
Really sweet.
I don't know. We're to wait and see, but we're big Batman fans, big fans of the Batman universe. And again, when it says co-op, we say, yes, please. Speaking of yes, please, Resident Evil 8. I think they're calling it Resident Evil Village.
Oh my god. Going back to Capcom, guys. I am super excited for this. Now, I'm guessing they're going to wait till around October. I don't know if there's an official date yet, but I'm guessing since it's a horror game, it's going to be around that time. This could be super scary.
And there's no reason to believe this won't be epic, because the remakes have been awesome.
Yes.
Resident Evil 7 was badass. It was kind of a recentering, I feel like, for the storyline. We'll see. It's just a game that, man, it's really tough for us to buy games day one, but definitely going to be on our radar. And if it comes out in October, we just might have to pick it up.
Ooh. Speaking of a game, I don't know if there's a release date or an official title for this yet, but God of War. The new God of War is going to come out. Man, the one on the PS4 is incredible. It could be potentially the best in the series. I know it's up for debate, but it's really good.
This is going to be another one. I'm kind of waiting on the PS5 to see what they're able to do. How does this utilize the potential of the PS5? Ooh. Is it that game that's going to push us over the edge to get one of the consoles? Because it's not about consoles for us. It's about the games. It's always about the games. And right now, there's not a lot of stuff you can't do on current gen hardware. There's just no freaking games. So this is another one that's like, dude, if that's awesome. But like you said, I don't think there's an official release date. Nope. So this is a potential 2021, but we know it's in the works.
And speaking of another Sony exclusive, this has been announced for a while. I thought this was going to be a launch title for the PS5, but
they tricked you because it's a launch window title.
Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Dude, this game looks sweet. I'm so glad Ratchet & Clank is back, even though the series did get a little diluted back in the day because they made so many of them.
Yeah. Was there like 4 on the PS2?
So many. But I'm glad they're back. It looks sweet. I love the visuals. I just think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, this could be another one. Again, you get a couple of these that actually land on the PS5. It's going to be tough, if God of War's out, that's out. I mean, you just got to think at some point, when are we going to pull the trigger? Wait a minute.
What?
Pokemon Snap?
Isn't that an N64 game?
It's coming back? On the Switch?
Yes, guys. A new Pokemon Snap. What?
Now, we love our Switch, but we have been relatively hard on it. I would say that's fair to say,
Yeah.
because of the exclusives or lack of, thereof that aren't Wii U ports. Hello. If this is a new Pokemon Snap game, not just a remake.
Yeah, just a
new.
I think it's a new one. I think it takes place like in a different universe, kind of, but still in the Pokemon universe. I'm not entirely sure, but when I saw this, I was like, oh my god,
bring it on.
That's freaking badass.
Super pumped to see what they have to offer, what they have done with the new Pokemon Snap. Arguably one of the better platformers in recent memory is Hollow Knight.
Yes, that game is fantastic.
So why wouldn't we be excited about the sequel?
Oh, dude, this game looks really sweet. Hollow Knight, Silk Song. It's going to be for Switch and PC, obviously, because everything's for PC, but I'm super excited for this. This kind of goes back to the Axiom Verge excitement, because I just like the style, like the tie back to the retro, the indie,
it took us a while to actually even get to play the first one, because I think we were waiting for it on physical release. We ended up getting it on physical release, and so we're pretty excited. Hollow Knight Silk Song. So you guys know we love the PS2. There was a game on the PS2. It's just kind of a beautiful platformer. Psychonauts.
Ooh, yes.
I think it came out in 04 or 05. Somewhere in there. And in 2021, we're supposed to get the sequel, Psychonauts 2.
That's crazy, man. It came out on the PS2, and now we're getting the sequel. I'm super excited for this because I love platforming games, and it just looks really sweet. The visuals look really cool, and
if they can keep
fun,
the charm intact, I mean, you do wonder, like the character and charm of a game, that unexplainable it factor.
Yeah.
15 years later, 16 years later, is it still going to be able to have that for those original Psychonauts players? Nonetheless, it's on the freaking radar. Pretty excited about it. And we're excited about another PS5 exclusive.
Ooh. Horizon Forbidden West, the second game in the Horizon Zero Dawn universe, or whatever universe is called.
Yeah.
An RPG game. It looks sweet. I know we always say we're not big RPG fans, but...
Well, the Horizon games, they've got that element, but it's more of like an action-adventure with the RPG mixed in there. But wow, the first game, there were some annoyances. I really love the game. I would say I probably don't love it as much as some people do, but it is really freaking good. And if you're kind of into that Breath of the Wild open world type of aspect, I think this is one that, again, could potentially be a system seller for some folks. I think a lot of the stuff coming down the pipe, they're saying it's going to be available on PS4, and games for Xbox on Xbox One, but I would be concerned that may or may not occur. I think a lot of these may just end up on the newest hardware, but we shall see, because they're having a lot of problems. The Cyberpunk issue. They're having issues. I don't know that that's going to get cascaded throughout the industry, but I think it's going to be really hard to continue developing these games with that gap in power on the consoles. Ninja Gaiden fans, Batman on the NES fans, there's a little game. It's like an indie game. The look has me intrigued. Cyber Shadow.
Oh, yes.
Developed by the Shovel Knight developers.
Which is another great game.
Yes, so why would they mess this up? I don't think they're going to. This is one that I think is really going to scratch that retro gaming itch. I think this could end up being a Shovel Knight, Axiom Verge, like, buzz around it.
Oh, yes.
If they do it well, there's no reason for me to think they wouldn't. Shovel Knight's amazing. We love Ninja Gaiden. We love Batman.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for this. I'm curious how it's going to play.
Yeah.
Speaking of curious, what do you think of this beer by Hoppin Frog? This is a peanut butter, hazelnut, caramel, chocolate, cake stout. Comes in at 8%. It's a stout with natural flavors.
It's really good. This is a dessert beer. I'm surprised, I gotta be honest, that it's 8%. The mouthfeel for me is a little on the thin side, so I wouldn't be, like, it would remind me of like a 5 or 6% just regular stout. So it's not an imperial stout. Very good though. I can pick up most of the notes. I would say I'm getting a little more of the caramel and hazelnut. I would say peanut butter plays maybe second or third fiddle in there, and then the chocolate aspect kind of comes through just because it's a stout. It's really good. When we found this, I was way more excited, though, than I kind of am after having it. Like, because we've had amazing Hoppin Frog beers before.
And we found this in our area, which Hoppin Frog isn't in our area, so we were like, oh my god. And this does have a really good taste.
Yeah.
Like, the flavors that come through, I'm like, wow. For being a thin mouthfeel, it does have a thick taste, if that makes sense. It's a little bit heavier, but still thin. It's kind of confusing. But that's what it feels like in my mouth, and it's just, this is really good.
Yeah, when I saw Hoppin Frog and saw the flavor profile on the can, I'm like, this is going to be one of the best stouts I've ever had. This is not one of the best stouts I've ever had, but it's a very good stout.
I think a lot of people would like this if you're
Yeah.
into like the dessert stouts or
Yep.
like cake stouts and stuff like that. Really good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, those are games we're hyped up for in 2021. There's a few others that I don't know that we can really get too excited about. You know, the rumors of Breath of the Wild 2.
Oh, yeah.
Is that real? Is it going to be a thing? What's the name going to be? And I know, like, Metroid 4's been hanging out there forever. You were saying, like, you saw something on Amazon or an article that, like, it's looking like 2023 for Metroid 4.
Amazon like accidentally leaked that said, "Oh, your pre-order of Metroid 4 will be here January 2023."
So-
in 2 years.
Nintendo just marches to the beat of their own drum, so I don't get too hyped thinking like we're going to get a new Zelda game in 2021. If it happens, we'll be getting it. If Metroid 4 comes out, we'll be getting it. But those ones are just kind of out there in the distance. But the games we talked about today, I mean, they have the ability to change how we play games moving forward, because if we end up getting a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, that's going to be a game changer.
It's going to be really sweet. And it's crazy because we haven't played any of these games, but one of these games could potentially be our game of the year next year.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that crazy to think about?
It is. It's kind of fun. It's a fun time. I'm excited for these retro type games that are coming out in 2021. Those are the ones I'm probably the most excited about. For us to make the leap, though, to buy a console, it's going to take either just a groundbreaking release or like a few, like if you were to say maybe the PS5, it's going to take 2 to 3 to 4 games, because when I get a console, I want some freaking games.
Yeah.
That I can only play on that console. So we shall see what 2021 has to offer, what it has to bring. But man, just looking at this list, Back for Blood.
Oh, dude, it's going to be so much
I'm
fun.
pretty excited.
Dude, in the comment section below, let us know what games are you guys
Yeah.
looking forward to in 2021. There's so many that we didn't even mention.
Way more than what we
So
talked about
many.
today. So these are the ones that just move the needle for us. We always appreciate you guys tuning in and subscribing to the channel. We'll see you around. Hopefully next time, right here on Gaming Off the Grid. You're fucking distracting me, he said, because he's like peeing and all of a sudden like started like sputtering. I'm just like, fucking funny.
You didn't even...
And I walked out and he like turned and he had, you know how like drunk people are about to fall over, they use their lips as their tail to gain balance.
It's their whistle.
It's their tail to gain their balance. And he's like staring at me, and I'm just like,
Have a good day, bud.
get her in there, buddy. Get her back in the old... Put the trouser snake back in his cage. Dirty deeds, Thunder Chief. Dirty deeds in the Thunder Chief. Dirty deeds in the Thunder Chief. This is the first episode we're filming in 2021.
Yeah.
I just want you to like soak that in.
Even though it's like the 5th one that's coming out.
Yeah, but the meaning of this, dude. This is bigger than us.
It's bigger than us.
It's bigger than This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Oh, dude, that freaking nose.
Just want to like bathe in it.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. Yeah. Tastes pretty good. 2021 is here to stay, and that means there's a whole line of video games. A whole,
Gluttony.
gluttony of
Oh,
punishment.
gluttony.
In 2021. Some of them have us pretty...
Pretty successful.
Yeah.
I
God.
wish.
And apparently, I've developed a speech impediment in 2021.
It'll be the first time.